Many words like integrity and loyalty, those get thrown around so easily. It's so much more than that. It's the stuff you don't see behind the scenes, the hard, constant toil to keep a school open. We all got crushed with COVID a few years ago. To still be standing alone, you should have got your 10th degree for that. When I first met Paul, it was 30 years ago. He had opened a school on the exact same street as me in a different town. So if you keep following that street, he's about 5 miles away from my school, which is far enough away, it was okay. So I knew who he was, he knew my name, and I first met him, he doesn't remember this, maybe he does. I met him for the first time at Henry Guidaboni's martial arts supply store in Woburn, Mass. And Henry said, that's Paul Cran. He goes, oh, you're Steve. So we met, and right off the bat, I was like, I don't want to like this guy, but I kind of do. We just hit it off. He said, you're welcome into my dojo anytime. Come in, check it out. You can watch a class, do whatever you want. And if you want, afterwards, we can go get a couple of beers. Nice guy. And he says, or you can just not come to school and we can just go get a couple of beers. So I'm driving back and I'm going, this guy's going to be a problem. For those of you who know Paul, and even myself up until the last 3 or 4 years, the first thing you think of with Paul is funny, happy, easy-go-lucky guy, party, at the drop of a hat, lots of fun. Over the last couple of years, I said, we talked about the 10th degree thing, and I said, you're one of my best friends, but I can't just give it to you. I mean, you wouldn't want it like that anyway. So this is going to take some time. So about 2 years ago, this thing started. And I know most people always say, and it's true, that your 10th degree test or any test starts the day you walk into a karate school at white belt. That's when your 10th degree test starts. But realistically, I said, I know your school, I know your students are great, but this is big. We got to get deep into this. I need to see your entire curriculum, what you do, your thought process, everything that you do. So it was a side of Paul that I hadn't seen before. He can flip a switch. And all of a sudden, it was the Paul that I hadn't seen before and recognized. Dead serious. He brought out paperwork like I've never seen. And I was like, I don't know if this is more than I was hoping bargaining for, but I had a lot of reading and a lot of listening to do. And his depth of knowledge and experience is far greater than I think most of us know. His teaching to law enforcement, military, Navy SEALs, all over the country, all over the world, really some hardcore stuff. And I was like, wow, Paul's not just let's go get a couple of beer guys. He's legit. So that was all great. The material's there, all that's there. Then I'm looking at loyalty. I've been doing martial arts now for 53 years, and he's one of the most loyal I've ever run across. He would take a bullet for me. We've had multiple companies. But him and Jimmy O'Brien. Where's Jimmy O'Brien? Can you stand up too, Jimmy? Jimmy, stand up. Jimmy's a U.S. Marine. Like any industry, there's drama, there's politics, and things like that. And even recently, about 6 months ago, I had to reach out to both these guys about an issue. And they are so locked and loaded all the time. They didn't speak to each other. I talked to Jimmy about the situation. He says, listen, I don't always agree with what you do, but whatever you decide, Steve, I got your back, 100%. I said, geez, I appreciate that, Jimmy. You always have been like that. He goes, that's how we are. That's our code. That's what it is. And I called Paul and tell him the situation. Doesn't know that I talked to Jimmy. And the same words, I swore I thought they talked to each other. Paul says, I don't always agree with what you do, but you make the decision, and I'll back you up 100%. And it's humbling to have people like that in your life. I'm really very, very blessed and lucky that there are just people that will just follow you, be loyal to you, they have integrity. And these are the things that lead up to a 10th degree black belt. But more than that is the reflection. If you're a student of Paul's, can you stand up? Okay. So, to keep standing for a second. I've been to the school multiple times, and again, not to sound corny, but every time I go in there, it was kind of a test for Paul, right? Even when it's relaxed, you guys are always on. I had a conversation for like an hour with about Corvettes and Porsches and race cars or anything else the other night, and every single one, their demeanor is respectful all the time. You guys, sorry Paul, but you guys are the reason he's going to 10th. You reflect back on him incredibly. Everywhere you guys go, I've seen you guys in social settings, I've seen you guys working on the dojo itself, the kicks, the punches, the blocks, but the stuff outside the dojo, you guys all reflect back on him. And great companies start at the top, the leadership. It all starts with Paul, and that's why I said, besides the 2 years of work you've showed me, it's your students. You've got great students. You guys can sit, thank you. Paul had me come in for a seminar once, and it was like a big, I don't know what he's doing, like a family day, so there was parents and kids everywhere. I pulled into the parking lot, and my car is parked, the back of the car is facing the school, and I'm getting my phone going, I'm checking emails, and making sure everything's stuck in my teeth in the rearview mirror. I'm in my car for like 5 or 10 minutes. Unbeknownst to me, Paul had seen me pull into the parking lot, so he's got everybody locked in front position. So I get out of my car, I look up, and there's seriously 100, 120 people standing, kids, adults. The parents are in front position. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking behind, like, who's here? And I was like, you make the parents get in front position? Oh yeah, it's good for them, it's good for them. And I'm like, wow. But that's the kind of structure and discipline that Paul provides. It's really, really unique. And in the martial arts world nowadays, you don't see that kind of discipline. Well, you might see it at Al's school, but it's lost on a lot of other schools. And Paul is still doing it the old school way.
Yes.
He's become one of my best friends. I'm so proud of him. I'm happy for him. It's a huge achievement. And it's, again, not just about him. Your 9th degree, what happened? How do you go from 9th to 10th? What changed? You walk on water now or something? No, it's not just about Paul. It's about the art. Without him going to 10th, he stays at 8th or 9th, all his students are stuck. And the whole system starts to downward spiral instead of upward spiral. It's his job to put someone on his shoulders so they can see further than he ever saw. It's my job to do that. It's his job, it's his job, it's his job, it's his job. We have to take the younger generation and push them higher and push the art further. So when he goes to 10th, it's good for everybody. That being said, without further ado, Mr. Parent, can I have you come up here? Great, if you can grab that, please. Perfect. First day there, and I've been heard and video here with me. Paul Parent, it is my great honor on this day, May 18th, 2024, to award you the rank of 10th degree black belt.